She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Number 75. Demons are real. Frailty. Twists on top of twists come out in the final act of this horror drama. We're talking mixed identities, serial killers, and a final grisly murder on top.
God knew. That's why he sent me.
But the one that outshines them all is that demons are, well, real. Frailty spends most of its runtime convincing you the Meek's patriarch has become a mad religious zealot. However, the implication at the end is that he was right all along. His victims were actually demons, and all the barbaric murders he committed were for the greater good. It doesn't make them easier to stomach, but it is something.
Everything okay, Adam?
Everything's just fine, Becky. God's will has been served.
Praise God.
Number 74. Time Doorways. Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. All the way back in the very first Paranormal Activity, we saw Micah chase his possessed wife Katie downstairs, only for his screams to suddenly die off. It took many years and 5 films, but we finally got an answer to what Micah really saw that night. The answer isn't Katie, it's Jessie, the protagonist of The Marked Ones. This spin-off introduced the concept of time doorways, which allowed malevolent witches to cause mayhem all across the series timeline. Like, for example, throwing Jessie into Micah and Katie's kitchen from the first film. It's a great twist, and one that answers a long-standing fan question to boot. Number 73. Nancy's Fate, The Craft. 4 teenagers, 1 coven, and a whole lot of magical mayhem. In a nutshell, that's The Craft, and as you can imagine, this cauldron overflows with drama fast.
Relax, it's only magic. Now who's pathetic?
So much so that leading Lady Sarah binds the others' powers for good. Only she doesn't stop there. While Bonnie and Rochelle are left powerless, Nancy finds herself all the way in a psychic ward. To be fair, she did try to steal Sarah's boyfriend and then threw him out the window to his death. But still, seeing her helplessly committed makes you wonder who the real villain of this movie is supposed to be.
I'm flying! I'm flying! I'm flying! I'm flying!
Number 72. Alex is Dead, The Uninvited. Grief can do a lot to a person. For Anna and Alex, the untimely death of their mother sent them on a crusade for justice.
She's trying to kill us and marry our father just like she did to them.
They point the finger at their dad's new girlfriend, Rachel, who seemingly kidnaps the girls to keep them quiet. When they fight back, the truth comes out. Alex died in the same accident as their mother. Unable to bear the weight of the tragedy, the mentally unstable Anna hallucinated Rachel's guilt. While The Uninvited is a very mixed bag overall, this last-minute rug pull is just insane enough to leave us wanting more.
I did exactly what you asked.
Did what, Anna?
I finished what I started.
Number 71. Asami's Attack, Audition. An iconic staple of Japanese horror, Audition is an unflinchingly brutal revenge tale that will have you reaching for a barf bag, mostly at the end. Until then, the film plays its cards pretty close to its chest.
あなたのような若い女性がそれをきちんと分かっているということが驚きで、この人はこれまでも、そして今も真剣に来てんだなって、そう思ったわけです。はい。
So, when Asami finally realizes Shigeharu's been stringing her along, it's all the more shocking. Let's just say Asami really brings the pain. And the wire saw. As you can imagine, Audition's bloody climax is guaranteed to leave you breathless, partially because of Asami's change of heart, and partially because of how far the film goes before finally fading to black.
君だけを愛すなんて嘘ばかり言って。私には本当にあなただけしかいないのに。あなたはいろんなものを持っているのね。私はその中の一部になるなんて嫌です。
Number 70. Say cheese, smile. Dying to a malevolent entity is bad enough, but dying to a malevolent entity that's smiling the whole way? That's so much worse.
What happens when you do see it?
It's smiling at me. But not a friendly smile. It's the worst smile I've ever seen in my life. And whenever I see it, I just get this god-awful feeling like something really terrible is gonna happen.
In the last arc, we learn the murderous spirit feeds on trauma, meaning the only way to save yourself is to pass a hardship onto someone else. In a vacuum, it's a clever bit of world building that establishes the spirit's inescapable wrath. But it also builds upon Smile's core themes about the trauma we all subconsciously share with one another.
Because this thing needs trauma to spread. That's what gives it power. Trauma.
The layers of meaning behind this revelation always leave us grinning ear to ear, for the right reasons. Number 69, The Same Family, The Last House on the Left. Even deplorable villains need a place to stay for the night. In this case, the house they stumble upon just so happens to be owned by the family of one of the girls they left for dead a few miles back.
Do you know their car broke down right out front, John?
Oh? Anything serious?
Yeah, I'm afraid we blew a rod.
Ironic, far-fetched, hammy, call it what you will. But when the Collingwood parents unknowingly welcome their daughter's killers into their home, it is impossible to stop your jaw from dropping. From there, The Last House on the Left plays out like a slow-motion car crash. We're always waiting for the inevitable collision, even though we know it's not gonna be pretty.
What's the trouble, Doc?
Shut your filthy mouth.
Now take it easy, Doc. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Number 68. Yes, they're cultists. The Invitation. Sometimes attending your ex-wife's dinner party can make you a bit paranoid.
Welcome to our little reunion of sorts. You guys are all very special to Eden, which means you're very special to me.
Other times, she really is a cultist trying to sacrifice you in a blood ritual. The Invitation is all about the latter, although you wouldn't know it for the first hour. Even though Eden is acting far from normal, the film presents Will's suspicions as a serious case of jealousy and unresolved emotions. Turns out he should have listened to his gut and left way earlier.
Let's go, Kira. We're leaving right now. Calm down. No, we are leaving now.
Seeing Eden's plan go into motion is downright terrifying. But knowing how much Will tried to convince everyone, it's a bit vindicating too. Number 67, Not Just One, The Belco Experiment. After a 9-to-5 from hell, Mike stumbles out of the office battered, bruised, and bloody.
Why? Why?
Mr. Bell.
Why?
He is the sole survivor of a heinous experiment where all of his co-workers were tasked with killing each other. Seeing him finally step out into the fresh air is a euphoric sigh of relief. As you can probably guess, the Belco experiment doesn't end on that happy note though. Right as we're rejoicing at Mike's survival, we see glimpses of other operations around the globe. This was just one of many Belco experiments, and Phase 2 hasn't even started. It seems there really is no rest for the weary. Number 66, Mia talks to them. Talk to me. Using a mysterious disembodied hand, a group of teenagers begin speaking to the dead as a party trick.
Amazing!
Predictably, things go very wrong, culminating with main character Mia hurled into oncoming traffic. In the very last scene of the film, we see Mia aimlessly stumbling through the dark until she finally sees the light of a candle in the distance. She reaches out and winds up on the other side of the hand she had been holding onto the whole movie.
I let you in.
Cue the chills. Karma is not friendly, but it sure does make for a good closing twist. Number 65, Kaylee was right. Oculus. Who killed the dog, ruined the parents' marriage, and got Tim committed to a psych hospital? If you ask Kaylee, she thinks it's the antique mirror in her late father's office.
The purpose of today's experiment is to prove that the object behind me, the laser glass, is home to an observable, predictable, supernatural force.
Tim, however, isn't convinced, and neither were we. For almost half of the movie, Oculus makes you believe Kaylee is just projecting her trauma, and there really is no otherworldly force in the mirror. Until, right when you least expect it, the glass finally makes its move.
I don't remember doing that, do you? You don't.
Is it spine-tingling? Absolutely. But we have to admit, Kaylee's I told you so moment makes it all worth it. Number 64. Damien is evil. The Omen. What parents would believe their own child is the son of Satan? It's a tough pill to swallow, but even so, the evidence is undeniable.
Have no fear, little one. I am here to protect thee.
Damien torments his parents, resists going to church, and offs anyone who questions his origins. The Omen is nothing unless it can convince you this 5-year-old is actually the Antichrist. And we have to admit, it is pretty persuasive. It's especially notable since the twist doesn't come out in one definitive scene. Instead, Damien's truth is shown through little tidbits of evidence here and there, until it's impossible to ignore.
This is not a human child. Make no mistake.
If you're still on the fence, his fourth wall break at the end is basically a confession. Number 63. All work and no play. The Shining. After going mad inside the Overlook Hotel, Jack Torrance is seemingly left to freeze inside the property's snowy maze. But this is a horror movie. You didn't really think it'd end without one last scare, right? Although Wendy and Danny leave Jack to succumb to the elements, the final shot of The Shining shows him among a group of guests. The kicker, though? It's in a photo from the 20s, nearly 60 years before the events of the film. Jack's body may have perished that night, but clearly, his spirit lives on as part of the Overlook. Guess you could say he really is a dull boy now. Number 62. Science Officer Ash. Alien. In space, no one can hear you scream. The same is true of gasps. While Alien has you thoroughly distracted with the threat of the xenomorph, another jaw-dropper hits you by surprise.
Ash? Any suggestions from you or Mother?
No, we're still collating.
You what? You're still collating? I find that hard to believe.
You know the science officer Ash, the one who's following orders to return the alien alive? Yeah, that's because Ash is an android with presumably no free will of his own.
Jesus. It's a robot. Ash is a goddamn robot.
In a film that embraces all the best sci-fi has to offer, we really should have seen this coming. But despite it all, we'd wager Ash's robotic head falling off left most people dumbfounded. Number 61. The Real Killer. I Know What You Did Last Summer. As a general rule of thumb, always make sure the men you leave for dead are actually, dead.
There's no way!
Oh my god, this isn't happening.
Or better yet, don't try to cover up a hit and run in the first place. Full of pulpy thrills and over-the-top death scenes, I Know What You Did Last Summer plays up the idea that the characters are being punished for their actions. And, well, they are. But not because they killed someone, because they hit him, thought he was dead, and rolled him off a cliff.
Kids like you should be out having fun. Drinking, partying, running people over, getting away with murder, things like that.
It's funny though, one of the biggest twist endings in slasher film history is when a character is actually alive. Number 60. Laurie is Michael's sister. Halloween 2. Michael Myers didn't need a grand motive in John Carpenter's 1978 classic, but Halloween 2 gave him one anyway. Apparently, Michael wasn't after Laurie because she was a virgin or an easy target or anything like that.
That Strode girl, that's Michael Myers' sister. She was born 2 years before he was committed.
She's actually Michael's long-lost sister, and he won't be satisfied until he finishes her off. By deepening the relationship between a horror icon and his final girl royalty, this bold twist completely reframed the entire Halloween franchise to that point.
Michael?
Not many sequels are willing to shake up the original to this degree. But that is also why this family reunion remains one of the slasher genre's most iconic moments. Number 59. Sarah's Trauma. Silent House. Better keep your eyes peeled during this one. The hints are everywhere. However, they're hard to find since Silent House is a roller coaster of a story.
Wait, what about the noise?
Honey, it's an old house. They make noises. I'm sure it's nothing. But I'll keep looking around, okay?
It's unclear whether there are intruders in the house, if it's some kind of haunting situation, or if Sarah's family is out to get her. The answer is none of the above. Sarah is hunting them. Following the horrific things her family did to her as a kid, Sarah is now getting revenge the only way she knows how, with an axe.
It's a very special little secret.
The house is a twisted metaphor for her fractured psyche, and much like Sarah herself, the audience doesn't realize she's the villain until the very last moment. Number 58. The killers know they're in a movie. Funny Games. Despite the name, this movie is no laughing matter. It follows two crooks who infiltrate a home and torment its residents for seemingly no other reason than the sick thrill of it.
Warum tun Sie das?
Warum nicht? Also dann, ein anderes Spiel.
It is downright bone-chilling to watch, especially during Anna's escape attempt. She manages to remove her bindings, grab a weapon, and completely turn the tables on her captors. Peter and Pal, however, simply reach for the remote and rewind the movie. Literally. That's right, these guys know they're in a film and can control it to make the ending they want.
Das hättest du nicht tun sollen, Anna. Die Spielregel bricht man nicht.
It is terrifying, brilliant, and utterly mind-blowing all at once. Number 57. Built on a Graveyard. Poltergeist. We didn't think we had to say it, but don't speak ill of the dead also means don't build houses on abandoned grave sites.
They're here.
All movie long, the poor Freeling family is scared to the core by a never-ending onslaught of paranormal escapades. They learn their house was built on a former cemetery, but are assured the graves were moved. A big lie that was. Only the tombstones made the trip, meaning the Freelings were unwittingly stomping over unmarked graves the whole time.
You left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
Just the thought of it gives us the heebie-jeebies. And we're not alone. Poltergeist's haunting finale has left people double-checking their land plots for generations. Number 56. Angela is the new host, Rec 2. Armed with nothing more than a camera and a hunch of a good story, reporter Angela Vidal finds herself trapped in an apartment building during a zombie outbreak.
La policía ha acordonado la zona y no nos deja salir del edificio sin darnos ninguna explicación, así que hemos decidido buscar otra salida a pesar de su oposición.
She fights, she fails, and the first film ends with her dragged into darkness. Later, Rec 2 reveals Angela didn't die. Although, for the good of humanity, she probably should have. The demonic Patient Zero possessed her at the end of the original Rec, meaning the true source of the virus is now masquerading as its sole survivor.
Que no te necesito. Lo sabes, ¿verdad?
A gut punch of a twist, it leaves you with the awful realization that this outbreak is far from over. Number 55. Not a Victim. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. As the father and son coroners peel back the layers of their latest autopsy, somewhat literally at times, the Tilden men realize this presumed victim may have been killed for a reason.
Almost like a human sacrifice.
That being, she is a vengeful witch with the power to devastate anyone in her path. As each new mystery piles up, the Autopsy of Jane Doe masterfully builds up its corpse's character until there is no question about why she ended up on their table. Of course, the scariest fact of all doesn't come until later, when the Tildens realize that just because she's dead doesn't mean Jane can't still use her powers.
They are a witch, and their blood shall be on their own heads.
Number 54. It's a sequel, Split. Since it comes from director M. Night Shyamalan, everyone who showed up for Split expected a bonkers plot twist.
You are different from the rest.
It really made you wait for it, though. Long after Casey escapes, the assailant is arrested, and even the credits roll, we finally get Shyamalan's trademark tease. And it's one for the ages. It all comes down to one exchange. Specifically, one name, Mr. Glass, aka a character from Shyamalan's 2000s film Unbreakable.
It's like that crazy guy in the wheelchair that they put away 15 years ago. And they gave him a funny name, too. What was it?
Mr. Glass.
Split was set in the same universe the entire time, and no one picked up on it. Mind officially blown. Shyamalan has a very spotty track record, but when he hits hard. Number 53. The Kids Aren't Alright. Sinister. All across the nation, kids are being captured by the boogeyman, and their families are left to die.
the hell? Let's do this.
As Ellison sees in some gnarly home videos, the deaths are not quick or painless. But somehow, it all becomes so much worse when the pieces come together at the end. The boogeyman may take a child, but he isn't the one killing the others. No, that honor stays in the family if you catch our drift.
It's the missing kids.
Yes, it's awful, and yes, it's just as bad as it sounds. It's even worse because the clues were there all along. We just really did not want to believe it. Number 52, Ben's death, Night of the Living Dead. This one just hurts. In a night from hell where both dead and tensions are rising, Ben remains calm, cool, and collected to the very end.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
There's a reason he's the only one of the group to live through the night. But despite all that, when he emerges the next morning, it's to face the barrel of a firearm. Ben is mistaken as one of the living dead, and treated like it too. He did everything right, and in the end, his killers don't even seem to care.
Good shot. Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
In such an out-of-this-world film, ending with a dose of stark, sobering reality makes Night of the Living Dead impossible to forget. Number 51, Angela Isn't Actually Angela, Sleepaway Camp. Featuring a cast of promiscuous camp counselors as they meet their maker, it's easy to dismiss Sleepaway Camp as another forgettable slasher ripoff.
Listen, Angela, if you're not going to participate in our activities, then you just sit there and you do nothing. That does not include talking with the boys. You're not a goddamn prima donna, you know? Understand?
But if you make it to the end, you're rewarded with one hell of a reveal. The killer is Angela, a young girl who was sent to camp after the traumatic death of her brother. Only she's not actually Angela. It was the sister who died in the accident, but the surviving Peter was forced to be the girl his aunt always wanted. All the sexual escapades at camp left him bloodthirsty, eventually leaving Sleepaway Camp with one of the most disturbing freeze-frame endings in cinema history. Number 50, Mary Was Dead All Along, Carnival of Souls. This surreal indie film from the early 60s sees a young woman named Mary surviving a deadly car accident, only to be preyed upon by a gray-faced ghoul. As several other ghoulish figures start cropping up, she is relentlessly pursued through a nightmarish world that seems to defy logic more and more. There's a reason. In the epilogue, it's revealed that Mary actually didn't survive that car accident at the start. The ghouls were presumably there to take her to the afterlife.
The car's still over there, and then the footprints leading up to here.
Critic Roger Ebert likened its shocking but inevitable ending to a lost Twilight Zone episode. Number 49, Who's the Dummy Now? Dead Silence. As they did in Saw, filmmakers James Wan and Leigh Whannell came up with yet another layered and twisted ending. Dead Silence sees the ghost of a vicious ventriloquist named Mary Shaw enacting her revenge on the bloodline of a boy who humiliated her. One of her targets, Jamie, discovers that Mary was there the whole time. In fact, she was disguised as his new stepmother, puppeteering his father's corpse like a puppet in every scene he was in.
Soup. Delicious, too.
I'll vouch for that.
This realization is delivered with a hypnotic montage replaying scenes we've already watched, this time from Mary's perspective. Ventriloquism was never so creepy. And that's saying something because it's already pretty creepy.
She had no children, only dolls. And if you see her in your dreams, be sure you never, ever scream.
Number 48, Simone was trapped in the walls, The Orphanage. In this twisted and captivating supernatural horror movie from J.A. Bayona, Laura moves her family into the orphanage where she grew up, intent on turning it into a school. After her son Simone goes missing one day, she begins uncovering the orphanage's deadly secrets.
Simón, hijo.
But it would be more of a twist if the place wasn't haunted by the spirits of dead people. The real twist is that Simone's end was not supernatural. He had become trapped in the old house's walls and was never heard from again. Laura's reaction and tragic ending made the orphanage one for the ages. Number 47. The killer is in your bed when a stranger calls. Carol Kane stars in this horror thriller as Jill, a babysitter who is terrorized by a killer calling from an extension. But the calls are coming from inside the house is only the first act twist.
Leave me alone! Jill, this is Sergeant Snacker. Listen to me. We've traced the call. It's coming from inside the house. Our squad car's on the way over there right now. Just get out of that house.
Years later, when she's married with her own children, Jill is targeted by the mad killer Kurt Duncan once again. After the police leave and she's alone in bed with her sleeping husband, she's sure the killer is in the closet. But surprise, he's actually in bed next to her. It's a clever inversion of that first twist, but the intimacy of it feels even more frightening. Number 46. Johnny is Harry, Angel Heart. In this stylish neo-noir horror film, Harry Angel is a private eye hired by a mysterious man to track down a missing singer known as Johnny Favorite. Cypher tells Angel the singer welched on an unspecified contract. The case leads the detective down a twisting, turning path that leaves a trail of bodies behind. In the end, Angel realizes that the man he's looking for is himself.
My guy didn't kill no one.
I'm afraid you did, Johnny.
My name's not Johnny.
All killed by your own hand, guided by me naturally.
He is Johnny Favorite, a man who murdered and tried to consume another man's soul, condemning his own soul to hell. And if that weren't enough, Louis Cypher turns out to be Lucifer himself.
Louis Cypher. Lucifer.
Number 45. Sarah's escape was a hallucination. The Descent. A group of women finds out there's something scarier to exploring caves than tight spaces. One by one, they are devoured by humanoid monsters known as crawlers.
Where are we? It hasn't got a name. It's a new system. I wanted us all to discover it. No one's ever been down here before.
Sarah is the last remaining member of her group at the end of the movie. We watch as she makes the desperate and terrifying climb to safety, only to be wrenched back into her nightmare. Her escape was only a dream. She hallucinates a chilling image as we leave her underground, doomed to be finished off by the carnivorous cave dwellers. The movie was already bleak to begin with, but the way it ups the ante in its last minutes made it legendary. Number 44, They Could Have Been Friends. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Not a traditional horror movie, this unforgettable film features classic movie stars Bette Davis and Joan Crawford as two fading Hollywood actresses. Their careers ended ostensibly as a result of a car accident caused by Jane and her alcohol use, after which she needed to care for her sister Blanche, who was left with paralysis. But in the last act, Jane has lost her grip and drags a starving and neglected Blanche to the beach. It's here that Blanche reveals the big twist.
You didn't do it, Jane. I did it myself. Don't you understand?
She was responsible for the accident that broke her own spine, and only let Jane believe it was her fault. Jane has lost her grip on reality so much she's not even angry. She makes the heartbreaking realization only too late that their years of mutual resentment were a waste.
What do you mean? All this time we could have been friends.
Number 43, Maggie is Freddy's daughter. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. The Nightmare on Elm Street sequels were largely an example of diminishing returns. While the sixth movie was seen as one of the worst in the franchise, it did have a pretty killer twist on Freddy Krueger's backstory. Maggie Burroughs, the psychiatrist trying to help Freddy's new targets, learns that she is Krueger's daughter.
You're my blood. Only you could have brought me out. And you're mine.
You can't be my father.
After watching him slice and dice the teens of Springwood, Ohio for almost a decade, it was kind of refreshing to see more of what makes the Dream Killer tick. While it did add some shading to the Dream Killer's motivation, it couldn't save the movie from some pretty terrible 3D effects.
Happy Father's Day.
Number 42, Gabriel's Identity, Malignant. If you want unhinged horror and bonkers twists, look no further than this James Wan thriller. Malignant is the story of Madison Mitchell, a woman who fears a serial killer who killed her abusive husband might just be Gabriel, her childhood imaginary friend come to life.
You're in a hospital. Where's Derek? Do you remember what happened?
Someone broke into your house. You were attacked. And Derek.
But the truth is even stranger than that. He actually turns out to be her parasitic twin, a monstrous twin brother who was removed from her skull as a child. His brain still lives in Madison's cranium and takes over her body to commit his murders.
One twin is dominant while the other is underdeveloped. It's not considered conjoined because the underdeveloped twin is dependent on the body of the other. Like a parasite, Gabriel feeds off Emily.
Yes, that's two big twists, and maybe it's a hat on a hat, but when you've got a parasitic twin living in your brain, you probably need two hats. Number 41, not his daughter. Don't look now. John and Laura are a married couple traveling to Venice after the death of their daughter, who drowned in a creek while wearing a vivid red raincoat. Amid psychic visions, grief, and spooky happenings, John becomes obsessed with a figure he thinks is his daughter running through the streets of the flooded city. Coincidentally, and as it turns out ironically, a mysterious serial killer is also stalking the streets. At the climax of the movie, having cornered the girl, he realizes too late that it's not his daughter, but the serial killer, who quickly dispatches him.
I'm a friend. I won't hurt you. Come on.
It is a cruel and creepy ending that feels especially tragic. Number 40, Lady Van Tassel controls the horseman, Sleepy Hollow. We all probably heard the legend of Sleepy Hollow as kids, but that did not stop us from being shocked by the plot twist in Tim Burton's 1999 adaptation of the short story. In the film, Ichabod Crane is sent to the small town of Sleepy Hollow to investigate a series of murders. Halfway through the movie, Lady Van Tassel, the stepmother of Ichabod's love interest, is decapitated by the Headless Horseman. Or is she?
Dear stepdaughter.
You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
Lady Van Tassel faked her own death and is the reason this whole beheading business started in the first place. Her revenge plot necessitated a bit of murder, and she made a deal with Satan to get her way.
The horseman comes! And tonight he comes for you!
Number 39, Inside Job. You're next. We don't need a motive for why crazed killers do what they do. So when masked assailants storm the Davison household and start knocking off family members, we hardly bat an eyelash. But it's eventually revealed that the intruders aren't just bloodthirsty. They're being paid, and by some of the family no less.
Really? You had to do that right in front of me?
Were you saying something?
At first, it seems like the edgy Felix and his girlfriend Z hired the men to take out the former's family for the inheritance. And they totally did. But it's later revealed that the demure Crispin is in on it too.
I can't believe you were in on this.
Come on, babe. You do know how broke we are, right?
Our lead protagonist, Erin, initially has trouble accepting her boyfriend's shady dealings, but considering what she went through, we don't blame her for breaking things off in the bloodiest way possible. Number 38, you're in a cult. Kill List. If you missed one of the strangest and most upsetting horror movies of the last 20 years, don't worry, you're not alone. Kill List didn't even make back its $800,000 at the box office, but the folks who did see it experienced a wild ride. The movie follows Gal and Jay, two British military guys turned hitmen who take on a contract that ends up proving disastrous.
Sam Rat.
Thank you.
Kill List doesn't have just one big twist at the end. It's more of a slow burn with multiple twists along the way, and a plethora of gory, disgusting horror to boot.
Just a librarian. Who for? This is not fair. I'll show you not fair. Yeah.
The violence will leave even the most strong-stomached reeling, and the end will leave you gobsmacked. Number 37, Laurie is also a killer. Happy Death Day. Groundhog Day, but make it horror. Happy Death Day is a fun, twisty romp of a horror movie. It centers around a girl named Tree who is stuck in a time loop where she is murdered by a masked stranger before waking up back at the start of the day. She eventually begins using her situation to identify her killer.
So I'm just supposed to keep dying until I figure out who my killer is?
She eventually does, believing him to be a serial killer on the loose. After she kills her would-be killer, she celebrates with a cupcake from her roommate Laurie and goes to bed, only to wake up still in the loop. The cupcake was poisoned, and Laurie was trying to off her the entire time. Talk about a bad roommate.
You killed me. What? You poisoned it.
Number 36, The Man in the Walls, The Boy. Little children in horror movies are scary enough, but little doll children? Yeah, count us out. In 2016's The Boy, Greta travels to the United Kingdom to be a nanny to an elderly couple and their 8-year-old son Brahms. Turns out, however, Brahms is not a human child at all, but a porcelain doll the couple treats as though he were alive. As strange events begin to happen around the house, Greta starts to believe the doll does have a human spirit. But when someone smashes the doll, the truth comes out. The real Brahms, who died in a fire decades ago, had been living in the walls of the house controlling the actions of the doll the whole time. Number 35, Josh is possessed, Insidious. The things that happen to us as children really do follow us to adulthood, don't they? Insidious explores that theme of lingering childhood trauma and takes it to its natural, twisty conclusion. When they discover that their son Dalton can astral project and is being possessed by demons, parents Josh and Renee learn something terrifying about Josh's own past.
The reason I knew to call Elise in this situation, the reason I know her so well, is because I called her myself once, years ago, to help you.
What are you talking about, Mom?
He has the same ability as Dalton, and when he was a child, he was tormented by the ghost of a terrifying old woman. Josh has to face the old woman again to save Dalton, and once he does, it seems like everything's fine. But at the last moment, we learn that Josh didn't win. Possessed by the old lady, his reign of terror begins.
Why did you do that? Why would you do that to me when you know how I feel about that? Why?
Number 34, Howard was right, 10 Cloverfield Lane. What would you do if you woke up chained in a room with some guy you've never met telling you that you can't leave because of the poisonous air outside? Would you believe that guy?
I'm not sure yet if it's chemical or nuclear, but down here we're safe.
So where are we exactly?
That is the central question that 10 Cloverfield Lane puts forth. After a car accident, Michelle wakes up to find herself in an underground bunker, with only her captor and his assistant for company. Her captor, Howard, insists that a world-changing event is underway, and she cannot leave the bunker. Michelle doesn't trust him, and as an audience member, it's doubtful whether we should either. Michelle eventually escapes, and comes to learn that Howard was 100% right. Also, aliens exist. Number 33, It Was the Devil All Along, Fallen.
If I go back to the beginning, that'll take forever. So let's start more recently.
Fallen begins with Detective John Hobbs telling us about the time he almost died. Or so we think. This Denzel Washington supernatural horror film takes themes of possession to the world of police work. The voiceover at the beginning of the film is said in Washington's voice. So as we watch Hobbs investigate a series of occult killings, we think he is the narrator. The killer is revealed to be a demon named Azazel, who can possess most human bodies. In the end, we think Hobbs has overcome Azazel, concluding the story of how he almost died. But no, the voice that's been speaking has actually been Azazel the entire time. The demon didn't die, taking over a nearby cat.
Oh, you forgot something, didn't you? At the beginning, I said I was going to tell you about the time I almost died. See you around.
Number 32, No Happy Endings, Drag Me to Hell. You can't always get what you want. Sometimes, what you get is a giant hand dragging you straight to hell. In Sam Raimi's 2009 comedy horror masterpiece, happy endings are not in the cards. But that doesn't stop you from hoping that maybe, just maybe, our protagonist will get away from the cursed button that haunts her. Christine's curse involves a 3-day torment before a demon drags her down to the fiery pits below. But at the end of the film, you do really believe that she's figured out how to beat it. It's only when her boyfriend attempts to propose to her and gives her back her cursed button in the process that we realize she's actually lost.
Oh my god!
Hey, hey, hey!
Number 31, sequel prequel, Final Destination 5. Final Destination 5 mainly follows the characters of Sam and Molly as they try to outrun the inevitability of death. The plot takes them through bridge collapses, meat spits, and more before they believe they finally survived.
It's gone. You killed him.
So does that mean I get Block's life? Yeah. Yes, I do.
At the end of the film, they end up on a plane. Vole Airlines Flight 180 to be exact. On board, Sam overhears a flight attendant telling someone that a passenger who was removed from the flight said they had a premonition that the plane would explode. This is, of course, Alex, the main character from the first Final Destination movie. A surprise prequel is the best kind of prequel. Number 30, The Alien Makes It to Earth, Life. When Life came out in 2017, it didn't necessarily receive rave reviews from critics or audiences. But this sci-fi light horror film deserves a second look, in particular for the way it handles its last act. Toward the end of the film, only 2 members of a crew sent to investigate life on Mars are left. David and Miranda are fighting against a dangerous alien life form. They decide David will kill the alien in space and Miranda will return to Earth.
This is Dr. Miranda North's black box recording in case of death upon re-entry. The creature killed 4 of the 6 ISS astronauts, with a 5th, Dr. David Jordan, presumed dead, carrying it out into deep space.
A pod crashes on Earth. It turns out to be David and the alien instead of Miranda. The last thing we're left with is David pleading with the people who find him not to open the door and unleash the alien's havoc. Number 29, Lucas is Dead, Goodnight Mommy. A clever movie twist is one that fools you in the moment, but opens up the world of the movie once you understand what's been going on. And Goodnight Mommy has one of the cleverest, saddest twists of the last 20 years.
Der Lucas will auch rein.
Wenn er was will, dann soll er mir das selber sagen.
Essen hast du auch mit mir gemacht.
Du weißt warum.
The movie centers around twins Elias and Lucas who become convinced their mother is not their mother after she returns from surgery wrapped in bandages. Strange events lead them to trap the mother in the house and threaten to burn it down. The mother then reveals to Elias that Lucas died in an accident before the film's beginning, and Elias has been hallucinating him the entire time.
Du bist nicht schuld, dass der Lucas gestorben ist. Du bist nicht schuld am Unfall.
The reveal changes every idea you have about each character and makes you reconsider everything. Number 28. The narrator is the real madman, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. If you're gonna dip into the world of silent cinema, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari is a wonderfully twisted place to start. The movie functions as a long flashback, as a man named Francis tells the story of a hypnotist named Dr. Caligari who manipulates a man with a sleep disorder into committing murders. The story ends with Dr. Caligari in a mental health hospital, but that's not the real ending. After the story, we learn that Francis, our very own narrator, is actually the true madman. Dr. Caligari is the hospital director, and Francis is the patient actually living in the fictional Caligari cell. Number 27. The Husband Isn't Really Dead, Les Diaboliques. Obviously, Psycho is one of the most important horror films of the last century. But what about the film that helped inspire Psycho? At first, the 1955 French film Les Diaboliques seems to be about 2 women, a wife and a mistress, who band together to kill the man who causes them both so much pain.
N'a pas trop souffert.
s'est rendu compte de rien.
Si nous partions tout de suite, si on le ramenait cette nuit.
Notre alibi. Quand on le retrouvera, il faudra que nous puissions prouver que nous étions ici le jour de sa mort.
But the crime at the center of Les Diaboliques turns out to be much more sinister. The husband, who we believe to be dead fairly early on in the film, actually never dies at all. The truth is that he and the mistress have concocted a twisted plan to torment the fragile wife to death. Diabolical indeed.
Il disait qu'elle avait le cœur fragile.
Mon pauvre chéri, t'es tout mouillé. Change-toi vite.
Number 26, The Mother Appears, Barbarian. When it comes to twists that blew our minds, Barbarian is near the top of the list. Zach Cregger's wild ride of a film starts out like a regular horror movie, but quickly changes gear. When Tess arrives at her Airbnb to find it booked by a man named Keith, we think we see where things are going. But despite everything we know about horror movie tropes, Keith isn't actually the villain here. The twist comes when Tess follows Keith down into the bowels of the home's basement.
Why did you come down here?
Someone else is down
No, why? Why did you come down here?
She finds Keith, but she also finds a naked, terrifying-looking woman simply known as Mother. The film immediately smash cuts to Justin Long of all people, leaving us to wonder what just happened. Number 25, Soo-Yun was a ghost the whole time. A Tale of Two Sisters. The secret ghost is a well-worn horror trope, from The Others to The Sixth Sense. But it takes a smart movie to do the trope well. A Tale of Two Sisters is one of the better films to do it. At the beginning of the film, Soo-Mi leaves a mental health hospital and heads home to her father, stepmother, and sister Soo-Yun. The family's dynamics are complex and often terrifying, but not as terrifying as the reveal that comes towards the film's end.
갑자기 환경이 바뀌어서 그래.
병이 나은 게 아니었구나.
그 옷장 얘기는 안 하기로 했잖아.
어쩜 나랑 날짜가 똑같았어.
수연이 죽었잖아.
아니, 기억 안 나.
Soo-Mi learns that she has dissociative identity disorder and that her sister Soo-Yun is a figment of her imagination. Soo-Yun has been a ghost the whole time. Number 24, Black Phillip is Satan, the Witch. Throughout the course of The Witch, we're left wondering what's real and what's not. But in the end, writer-director Robert Eggers lets us know exactly what to believe. The film follows a family who's banished from a Puritan settlement, after which strange, possibly witch-induced events begin to occur. Furthermore, the young twins of the family start to say that the goat, Black Phillip, is speaking to them. We're led to believe the twins might be making this up until the very end of the movie. Black Phillip materializes into the devil while speaking to the family's eldest child, inviting her to live deliciously.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Number 23, It's All in Patrick's Head, American Psycho. Investment banker, serial killer. What's the difference, really? Not much when it comes to American Psycho. Throughout this 2000 satirical horror masterpiece, Patrick Bateman tortures and kills a number of people in brutal ways. One of these people is his colleague Paul Allen, who he murders with an axe.
Because it's not just about the pleasures of conformity and the importance of trends, it's also a personal statement about the band itself. Hey, Paul!
But towards the end, as Patrick tries to confess to his murder spree, we learn that Allen is actually alive. Patrick might have never actually killed anyone and has been hallucinating his crimes for the entirety of the movie. This twist drives home the film's commentary on yuppie culture and toxic masculinity.
But even after admitting this, there is no catharsis. My punishment continues to elude me, and I gain no deeper knowledge of myself.
Number 22, Jacob is Dead, Jacob's Ladder. When it comes to war movies, horror goes hand in hand. And the 1990 film Jacob's Ladder really drives that comparison home. The film stars Tim Robbins as Jacob, a Vietnam War vet, and flashes back and forth between his life during and after his service. A number of strange, disturbing events occur throughout the film, leading to the most terrifying reveal of all. We learn that due to a military experiment gone wrong, Jacob was killed by friendly fire. Everything that we've seen after his time in Vietnam has been some hallucinatory, horrifying fever dream.
He looks kind of peaceful, the guy. What a hell of a fight, though.
Number 21, The Cult, Rosemary's Baby. Throughout Rosemary's Baby, Rosemary starts to suspect that her neighbors belong to a satanic cult that wants to use her unborn child for evil. She's almost there, but not quite. This 1968 horror flick is one of the very best, and its twist ending is one of the reasons why. After Rosemary gives birth, she's told that her baby was stillborn. But in the last scene, she discovers not only that her baby is alive, but that her husband Guy is not the father. When she discovers a satanic cult honoring her child, she notices that he has unusual eyes. The devil's eyes, one might say. Rosemary has given birth to the Antichrist.
What have you done to him, you maniac?
Satan is his father, not Guy.
He came up from hell and begat a son of mortal woman. Hail Satan!
Number 20. Esther is actually an adult woman. Orphan. We wouldn't be at all surprised if this 2009 horror movie turned a lot of prospective parents off the idea of adoption, especially when you consider the terrifying twist.
Everything about her could be a lie. Everything.
Well, you have her passport, her birth certificate,
These are
school
papers,
records,
honey.
medical
These are
records.
papers from halfway around the world.
What is this? It's a piece of paper.
After Kate and John adopt a young girl named Esther, the two struggle to get their new family member to open up. Tensions mount as Esther manipulates her new family, with only Kate suspecting something's wrong.
It causes proportional dwarfism. She only looks like a child. According to our records, Lena Klammer was born in 1976. She's 33 years old.
In a truly shocking moment, Kate learns too late that Esther, or perhaps we should say Lena, is really a 33-year-old woman who suffers from a medical disorder that stunts her growth. Not only that, but Lena is a cold-blooded killer.
Why was she at your hospital?
She's dangerously ill, violent. She killed 7 people that we know of.
Suddenly, the kid from Problem Child doesn't look so bad. Number 19. Tom was the Invisible Man all along. Or was he? The Invisible Man. Lee Winnell reinvented one of Universal's classic horror characters for the modern era in this 2020 film.
What is happening?
After barely escaping the clutches of her cruel tech mogul partner Adrian, protagonist Cecilia begins to believe that her ex is using cutting-edge invisibility technology to stalk her.
If you fight me, I won't ever hurt you. I'll find someone you love and hurt them instead.
Her terrifying suspicion proves correct, but with a twist. After the unseen assailant is shot and unmasked, he's revealed to actually be Adrian's brother Tom. But even this revelation is thrown into doubt, with Cecilia insisting this is just another facet of Adrian's twisted plot.
That it was you, not your brother.
Just goes to show that you cannot always believe what you see, or don't see in this case. Number 18, Marie Unmasked, High Tension. What begins as a quiet weekend of studying quickly turns nightmarish in this French horror thriller. And if the shocking violence doesn't leave an impression, the twist definitely will.
C'est bon, dans la cuisine! Alex est dead, je peux rien faire toute seule, tu comprends?
The story follows two college girls, Marie and Alex, who stay with Alex's parents in their secluded home to study. But a sadistic killer arrives on their doorstep, taking out Alex's parents and kidnapping her. It's seemingly up to Marie to save Alex from certain death, until we learn that almost the entire scenario has been a fantasy playing out in Marie's head, and she's been the one maiming her way through numerous victims.
Vous êtes sûre qu'elle me voit pas?
It's a shame, because besides the whole being the killer part, she was a great protagonist. Number 17. The old couple is possessed. The skeleton key. Being a live-in nurse is a demanding and often thankless job under the best of circumstances. Never mind when there are paranormal shenanigans going on.
She says you see him in the mirrors.
After being taken on to care for an elderly man living with the after effects of a stroke, Nurse Caroline begins to suspect the man's wife Violet of foul play.
I don't believe.
No!
This comes after Caroline finds a secret room filled with the tools of hoodoo magic in the attic, which is generally a red flag that something hinky's going on. But rather than simply a practitioner of hoodoo, Violet is revealed to be possessed by the spirit of a hoodoo magician from nearly 100 years prior.
It's harder every time. They just don't believe like they used to. Gotta get them riled up.
Yep, we'd quit too. Number 16. It's all staged. April Fool's Day. A typical twist in a horror movie involves the identity of the killer or killers. But the twist in this 80s slasher takes a different route by revealing there isn't a killer at all. Things seem par for the course as far as slasher movies go, when the bodies begin to pile up at a fancy party thrown by a group of old college friends. But imagine the audience's surprise when it turns out the events of the movie were just an incredibly elaborate rehearsal for a murder mystery night, and nobody was ever in any danger.
What's this all about? And don't anyone say April Fools again, or I'll rip them apart.
How's that for a twist? This slasher movie wasn't a slasher movie at all. Number 15. The Ancient Ones. The Cabin in the Woods. After After their cabin trip is spoiled by some pesky zombies, friends Marty and Dana discover a massive facility full of monsters beneath the cabin. And after a surprise appearance by Sigourney Weaver herself, the pair learns the deeper truth, that the events of the film were an elaborate ritual to appease a group of elder gods who want nothing more than to see groups of teenagers meet their messy demise again and again.
They want to see us punished.
Punished for what? For being young?
You don't need a film degree to figure out that the Ancient One's craving for routine carnage is a somewhat scathing commentary on horror audiences, crystallizing the film's deconstruction of tired horror tropes and imploring filmmakers to try something new.
Maybe it's time for a change.
Number 14. Those aren't the real grandparents. The Visit. Director M. Night Shyamalan's reputation as the king of the twist ending is somewhat well-deserved, as most of his movies contain at least one shocking twist.
We made a decision. Just you go. We're having a great time.
Yeah. Heck, this isn't even the only movie of his on this very list. The twists can get more than a little stale, but there's just something about this one that gives us the creeps.
Nana? Nana, you okay?
Good afternoon.
After an odd yet seemingly innocent weekend at their grandparents', teens Becca and Tyler receive a shocking revelation that those aren't their grandparents.
Where are Nana and Pop-Up? You've been staying with those people the whole time?
This reveal comes hot on the heels of a number of strange occurrences the pair had experienced, suddenly ratcheting up the already high tension to stratospheric levels. Number 13. Red is Adelaide. Us. Jordan Peele's electrifying follow-up to Get Out did not disappoint, mixing great horror movie scares with a powerful undercurrent of social commentary even before you get to the shocking final reveal.
They can't hurt you. You understand?
After narrowly escaping her tethered doppelganger with her life and family intact, Mother Adelaide seems to be in the clear.
Just want my little girl back.
Except the audience is clued in via flashback that the woman we've been following for the whole film is the tethered. Adelaide and her tethered were switched during childhood, meaning the raspy-voiced Red was actually the original, out for revenge after being exiled below ground. It's a twist that casts the entire movie in a new light, just like a great twist always does. Number 12. Samara is now free. The Ring. We're betting that up until this infamous moment in the 2002 remake of the Japanese horror sensation, the protagonists were patting themselves on the back.
You weren't supposed to help her. It's okay now. She's not gonna hurt you.
After all, it's not every day you get to put the vengeful spirit of a dead child to rest, but you forgot that you made a copy, didn't you? Now your ex is dead and you have to continue passing the curse on in order to save your child. Great job. In all seriousness, the twist that the terrifying Samara was not put to rest by uncovering her grave and will continue to wreak vengeance on the living is still one of our favorites. And we still can't see TV static without shuddering. Number 11. The call is coming from inside the house. Black Christmas.
A phone company's on the other line, sir. They say they got a trace on this one.
Yeah, let's have it.
In this 1970s Canadian slasher flick, the residents of a sorority house are plagued by a string of obscene and disturbing phone calls. But things just get worse when several of the residents are found dead, and the killer is behind the obscene calls. In the film's most iconic scene, a telephone company employee frantically traces the location of the mysterious caller, and eventually discovers that the calls are coming from a second line, inside the sorority house.
For Christ's sakes, Nash, you got it wrong. That's where the calls are going into.
That's where they're coming from, too, sir.
It's a terrifying reveal, one that kicks the tension in the film into overdrive, with the revelation that protagonist Jess is far from safe despite being indoors and under police watch.
Just tell her to put down the phone and walk straight out the front door.
And sure, the reveal is similar to When a Stranger Calls, but this film did it first. Number 10. The Coagula Procedure. Get Out. Once again, Jordan Peele manages to pull off a twist that's not only terrifying on the surface, but casts the entire film up to that point in a new light.
I know what you're thinking.
What?
Come on, I get it. White family, black servants. It's a total cliche.
After meeting his girlfriend's parents for the first time, Chris begins to suspect something is amiss with the seemingly friendly couple.
Phase 1 was the hypnotism. That's how they sedate you. Phase 2 is this. Mental preparation.
Following a series of unnerving encounters with the family, Chris is hypnotized and wakes up bound to a chair, a videotape informing him of his fate. To have his brain removed so that a rich old white person can have his body instead.
So you won't be gone. Not completely. A sliver of you will still be in there somewhere.
This twist, itself a commentary on how black bodies and physicality are commodified by seemingly well-meaning white people, cemented Peele and the film as horror royalty. Number 9. It's all in the killer's head. Identity.
Who am I speaking to? Look at me. Who am I speaking to right now?
In this horror/thriller from Logan director James Mangold, a group of strangers find themselves stranded in a secluded motel and stalked by a mysterious killer. But this isn't your run-of-the-mill slasher movie. It's revealed late in the film that almost everything we've been seeing has been taking place inside the mind of a convicted serial killer.
Why are you telling me this? Because you, Edward, are one of his personalities.
The victims are actually the killer's multiple personalities, and they're being killed off as part of his treatment. The "it was all a dream" or hallucination twist is honestly a little played out, but this version offers an admittedly fresh spin on the well-worn idea, to great effect.
Where is my face?
Number 8. Mrs. Voorhees is the killer. Friday the 13th.
Well, I'm Mrs. Voorhees, an old friend of the Christies.
The machete-wielding, goalie mask-wearing Jason Voorhees is without a doubt one of the biggest slasher icons. But as horror aficionados are fond of pointing out, he wasn't the primary villain in the first film in the Friday the 13th series.
Jason should have been watched every minute.
After a number of fellow camp counselors are brutally murdered, the film's protagonist Alice discovers that the killer is in fact Mrs. Voorhees, the mother of a deformed boy who drowned while the counselors were, shall we say, distracted.
They were making love while that young boy drowned.
Needless to say, the revelation that the seemingly kindly old lady in a sweater is a crazed killer doesn't do much to make Alice's day better.
Look what you did to him!
Number 7. The girl isn't missing. The Wicker Man.
You, Sergeant, are the right kind of adult.
Before it was remade with Nicolas Cage and turned into an internet meme, this 1973 horror film was a darling of British horror cinema. The film begins when a police detective arrives at a small town on a secluded island after a local girl goes missing. But it quickly becomes clear that something is terribly wrong, and that the villagers are part of a dangerous pagan cult.
You came here to find Rowan Morrison, but it is we who have found you and brought you here, and controlled your every thought and action since you arrived.
The detective suspects the girl might have been taken as a human sacrifice, but it's worse. The girl was never kidnapped, and it was all a ploy to lure him to the island to serve as the sacrifice himself.
No! Think! Just think what you're doing! Think what you're doing! Think!
Number 6. Jigsaw is the dead body in the bathroom. Saw. This infamous horror flick not only kicked off an entire franchise, but arguably started a whole new subgenre. While the sequels went on to more gruesome and elaborate gore, the first one keeps it fairly simple. Two men find themselves chained in a bathroom, with a corpse between them and a hacksaw each. The only way either of them can escape is to take that hacksaw to their own ankle. After much bloodshed, it's revealed that Jigsaw, the mysterious killer who orchestrated the whole thing, has been in the room the whole time, posing as the corpse lying between his two unlucky victims. Shocking, effective, and oh so twisted. Number 5. The family are ghosts. The Others.
Don't speak to them! Why? They're dead!
This spooky, atmospheric horror gem stars a woman named Grace and her two children, who live in a secluded mansion following World War II. As anyone might if they lived in a house this creepy looking, Grace begins to suspect that her home is haunted. Turns out she's right, but not in the way she expected. After a series of terrifying encounters with what seem to be spirits, it's revealed that Grace and her children are the ghosts haunting the house, and the visions they've been seeing are the new residents.
Children, if you're dead, why do you remain in this house?
It's a clever inversion of the classic haunted house scenario that caught most cinema-goers completely by surprise.
What happened?
They made contact.
Number 4. What David needlessly does to his group, The Mist. Things look about as grim as they can possibly get for painter David Drayton and his family.
Guys, let's get out of here now.
After a strange mist envelops their sleepy New England town, monsters begin emerging from the strange fog and exterminating everyone they can get their tentacles, pincers, and claws on. David and his son flee in their car along with some other survivors in a desperate bid for safety.
For once.
There's 5 of us.
Eventually, the car runs out of gas, leaving David to make the ultimate sacrifice to keep them from a grislier fate. With not enough bullets to go round, David leaves the car to be eaten by the monsters, only to find the military has arrived to save the day. Talk about too little too late. Number 3, Stu and Billy are the killers. Scream.
Surprise, Sydney.
This trend-setting slasher movie revitalized the genre for a new generation by injecting a dose of self-aware meta-commentary to liven things up.
What's the matter, Sydney? You look like you've seen a ghost.
This mainly takes the form of the teenage characters, who recognize that the mysterious killer stalking them is following the traditional rules of slasher films. Namely stuff like if you have sex, do drugs, or say, "I'll be right back," you'll be the next one to die. But rather than just 2 horror movie fans familiar with the tropes of the genre, the characters of Billy and Stu turn out to be the killers themselves, making the horror movie awareness of the Ghostface killer suddenly make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, we put her out of her misery, because let's face it, Sydney, your mother was no Sharon Stone.
Number 2, Malcolm Crowe is a ghost, The Sixth Sense.
I think I can go now.
The twist so infamous it started an entire meme remains a fan favorite, even if it turned a promising new director into the twist ending guy. The film tells the story of a young boy with the ability to see ghosts, which obviously leads to a near non-stop parade of terrifying encounters with the unquiet dead. Things look like they're getting better when he meets a child psychologist determined to help the boy, to make amends for a previous failure. But in the end, it's famously revealed that Bruce Willis's Dr. Crowe is a ghost himself, having died after the film's opening scene. For cinema-goers in 1999, it was one blown mind after another.
You were never second. Ever.
Number 1, Norman Bates is the killer. Psycho.
Mrs. Bates.
Even before the shocking reveal at the film's climax, Alfred Hitchcock's horror opus already had audiences scared out of their minds. But that ending just made things worse. After watching numerous characters seemingly die at the hands of the apparently demented Mrs. Bates, audiences were stunned to learn that the killer was, in fact, her soft-spoken son Norman, who had preserved his dead mother's body and taken on her identity. Even decades after the film's release, and subsequent enshrinement in popular culture, the reveal at the end of this legendary film remains the most shocking and memorable twist ending in the history of horror cinema. Which horror film left you on the edge of your seat? Let us know if we missed it in the comments below.